We're going to find the amplitude, period, and phase shift of y is equal to 2 cosine 4x plus 3 pi plus 1, and we want to graph the function. So step 1, remember, we want to compare. So y is equal to 2 cosine 4x plus 3 pi by comparing this, or y is equal to this 2 times cosine 4x plus 3 pi is equal to this 2 times cosine. As we bring this 4, this is represented by what? Omega, see, from this problem, right? And then of course, that's going to go, this is actually what? Remember? This is going to be phi over omega, that part right there, you see that? And in this case, it's going to be 3 pi over what? 4. So, we actually compare it, and it's to this here, so everything lines up and everything's appropriately done correctly. So we see that A is equal to 2, omega is equal to 4, and phi is equal to what? In this case, negative 3 pi. And the graph is a cosine curve with an amplitude of what? 2. So the period in this case, when we calculate it, comes to pi over 2. And the phase shift is going to be negative 3 pi over 4. As we see right here, this is the regular what? This is the basic cosine function here, as we see represented there. Now, step 2, the graph is going to equal to this as such, and we will be between what? The values will be between negative 2 and 2, because of course the amplitude is 2. And those values are going to be between these points on the y-axis. Now, one cycle will begin at x is equal to, remember, x is equal to phi divided by omega, which is negative 3 pi over 4, and end at where? As we take and calculate this, x is equal to phi or phi over omega plus 2 pi over omega, which is going to equal to negative 3 times pi over 4 plus pi over 2. That's going to give you what? That's going to equal to negative pi over 4. So to find the 5 key points within these, with the intervals, into what? We want to calculate and divide these into 4 sub-intervals with each of the length of what? Pi over 2 divided by 4, which is now going to be what? It's going to be pi over 8. These are the x-coordinates, first x-coordinate, second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. And then in step 3, as we take this, what do we do? Can you tell me what we do next? In step 3, what we do with that A in the other graph? Now we don't do with the sine graph, we take the cosine, because this is a cosine function, so we're going to use the what? Cosine, basic cosine function, and we're going to multiply A to each of the what? To each of the y coordinates in this function to get our key points here. So we're going to take 2 times what? 2 times 1 right there, which is 2, and then 2 times 0, which is 0, and 2 times what? Negative 1 here, which is negative 2, and 2 times this 0, which will give you 0, and 2 times 1, this one, which will give you 2. And so here's our key points right here. This is our 5 key points. And so we take those key points, and of course this is our regular cosine graph, our beginning, our initial, we say. And then we actually compare to this, of course, it's going to be what? Now the amplitude is 2, remember? So since the amplitude is 2, look at it, all the values are between negative 2 and 2. And that here we have our points being plotted here. Our points are being plotted appropriately from the 5 key points. Now, what we're going to do here, we have to do a third graph because we have to show the what? We have to show its vertical shift. So we're going to add 1 and vertically shift it what? 1 unit up. So it's going to be shifted 1 unit up. So from this point here, from negative 2, it's going to be shifted up to negative 1. And then of course, from this part here, you add 1 to 2, and it's going to shift up to what? 3. So it's going to shift up a little bit. And this is your picture of the graph. Let me step aside, get a good picture of that. And this is how you basically find the amplitude, period, and phase shift and actually graph the function. Make sure you stop the tape or stop the video and take good notes. Try to get a great understanding. And we'll see you later